Here we go. We are live now, guys. Yeah. Hello. I am live with all of the Pride team. Everyone, come on. Yeah. So it's just a little video so that we can tell you guys how far they've got, where they're getting to, mainly about the actual day, and all the things that are coming up along the way. So, obviously, you've got the meetings. Do you know when the next meeting is?
No, we were just talking about when the next meeting is.
Ah, okay.
Actually, probably a couple of weeks from
But
now.
you could find out by coming on Wednesday to the
coffee group.
coffee.
Yes. Each Wednesday we do an Espresso Yourself coffee group at Cafe Kiss, where lots of us actually meet up and talk about Pride, and lots of other people come along just to find out what's going on. But tonight's been a full-on Pride organising meeting. So we've had the plan. We've got the plan from PL1 events. It's happening. It's all booked in. We've been talking about stalls that are coming, catering, all sorts of things, really, haven't we?
Yeah,
all sorts of things. We need a map really to do some planning, but that's something PL1 events can help us with anyway. So talk about some of the people that,
yes,
acts.
Well, for the stage.
Yes. I think Jasmine, our sort of entertainment manager, has been in touch with lots of acts locally. So we've got a lot of people coming along that are going to give their time for nothing, which is really great. Yes. What else can I talk about, Jack? It's really weird. Wristbands. Yes. Oh, yes. We have a wristband idea. One of the messages we're trying to send out with Pride is that nobody actually pays for it. And we don't want to plead poverty, but at the same time, we work really hard to keep it as a free event because, we're not funded by the council. They give us the hoe, which we're very grateful for, but they don't actually give us a pile of money because they're not in a position to give us a pile of money. So, money to pay for it all comes from the bar that we run on the day, merchandise that we sell. Oh, I've just got bigger on the screen. So there's all of that, and actually, sort of sponsorship. We're talking to different firms about sponsorships, and one of the things that's coming out, we're bringing out a wristband, which is actually going to say quite originally Plymouth Pride 2017, and we're marketing that as something you can do. You can buy it for a few pounds in the run up to Pride, and actually it's a way for us to keep the event free, to actually get some money in the bank to pay for different things, and it will include some deals on the weekends, so you might not actually have to pay quite so much to get into certain venues or do certain things. And yeah, it's just a way of supporting me. A lot of businesses are actually picking it up. I'm going to have their staff stood there with wristbands on, showing that they support Pride and they want it to happen every year. And it's just a way to make the event more sustainable.
Yeah.
And show your support.
And it shows support, and it allows people to show a word which I'm passionate about, solidarity. And I think if you put a wristband on, and if it's a rainbow wristband, I've got my private ones inside out, but it just shows solidarity, that allows ordinary people to show their support for equality and for, in particular, our equality, without actually spending too much money or being too much of an activist.
It seems doable for me.
It's very doable, and we've got so many straight allies to be grateful for. It's the straight allies that really help us.
They are useful for something.
The straight allies, once you win over a couple of people, you win over the people.
That's what Pride's about. So we don't want it to be a gated event where you pay for a ticket to get in, because that defeats the whole object. We want everyone to just be able to wander in, see what's going on, join in with the fun, and the wristbands are one way of doing that. Along with sponsorship from companies. So if your company wants to actually sponsor Pride and chip in and get involved in some way, then that's fantastic. Get in touch. Volunteers, you can volunteer and help us on the day. There's always a lot to do. So we're very grateful.
And with company sponsorship as well, obviously we're going to be covering the event live throughout most of the day. Companies can have their logos on the video feed, so going global.
What else have we talked about?
Transzone.
Yeah. Okay, Transzone.
Everyone at the back.
Hey, I'm Amber. I'm Erin. We're both from Not Alone, which is the local transgender non-binary support group in Plymouth. We meet on every Tuesday evening. Talk about the trans zone.
Yeah, so this year at Pride, as well as having our individual stands for Not Alone, as well as other trans community groups like Transfigurations and Torquay, we'll also be working with Pride to set up a trans zone where we're going to have different things going on, like a hairdresser on site to help with tips for trans people and haircuts, and possibly makeup artists. And we're going to be talking more over the next few months about what other things that we can have in the trans zone and things going on all day. So that'll be something part of it. There's also talk of having a changing area as well.
So come find us in our own stalls and come and check out all the great things happening in the trans zone.
And it's really important as a community, LGBT, that we don't forget trans, and we make sure that trans is completely inclusive.
Don't forget us.
Within our Q community, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant that we can work together. Together we're stronger.
Yes,
that's the bottom line is together we are stronger.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
Obviously, there's that question about is Pride needed still? And yes, it very much is. Over the last 18 months of all these, like the Orlando and stuff like that, and it's just like, yes, it really is still needed.
It's a celebration, it's a protest, it's visibility. Plymouth's not had a great deal of LGBT visibility historically, and it's something that we need to happen. And actually, by having that visibility, people can sort of wander up and go, do you know what, I don't know much about trans people. Can you talk to me about, what's involved? It is. It's learning.
Visibility. It is political. It's a protest. It's a celebration. And at the same time, as well, as a Pride organizer and us, what we've got to think about is it's always going to be somebody's first Pride. So we might have seen it all before. We might have done it all before. It may be a little bit boring, but it's always going to be somebody's first Pride. And that person may be 14, 15 years old or 80 years old. And it's really important that they have a great time and feel part of a community. And that's what Pride does, is afterwards. So many people say, I never felt so connected to a community. And that's what we sort of aim for. Is not constantly repeating everything, doing everything the same, but we've got to be mindful that it is going to be somebody's first Pride, and so it can't be too daunting, and it can't be.
It's got to be useful to them.
It's got to have it's got to have purpose.
Yeah, so it's like remember your first Pride and how that felt, and that's what we're giving to everyone else.
That's what you're giving to people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to say, if anyone that is watching has any questions for the Pride team, please do tap away now. We're only going to be live for a couple of minutes longer, so get them in now. And the coffee. Or comment on the video. They'll all obviously watch out for the comments later on. So coffee on Wednesday.
Yes, this basically every fortnight, like I say, we do the Espresso Ourselves coffee group. It's not this one, we've had this Wednesday. It wasn't yesterday, but it's next Wednesday. So Wednesday the 7th of June. So 6:30 at Cafe Kiss. Come along there. It's become quite a big group, actually. We didn't expect it to become quite as huge as it is, but it's great because people are coming along. I think there's something about a neutral area that, coffee shop, I don't need to go along and walk into a pub on my own or something. So, it really seems to be working. It really seems to be
It's a neutral, safe space where people can come and talk about anything. There's no agenda. It's not a meeting with any fixed agenda. People can come and talk about their life. They can tell us how crap their life is, how fantastic their week's been, whatever, or talk about Pride. There's just no agenda. And the thing about Express Yourself is it's a real good way for asylum seekers housed in Plymouth to actually connect with us and make that connection, which we've been working with quite a few asylum seekers over the last year. And as a dispersal city, I think we're going to be working with a lot more. We welcome the asylum seekers. We'll do everything we can to help them.
Yeah, obviously various other people along the way as well, don't you?
Yeah, it's just, that's the whole thing, isn't it? That, we're a community, and like we've talked about earlier, we're not a community that all live together in one area, but actually we're linked in lots of different ways. And it's important to acknowledge those links and support each other.
There's this thing I always say that we're the Pride family, and we are leaders of that Pride family. And if somebody phones at 2 o'clock in the morning in crisis, they're phoning us because they don't have their own family. They don't have anybody to turn to. But we take those calls, we listen to them, we respond to emails, and we do have people sometimes phone in crisis, depression, all sorts of reasons. If they've been rejected by their own family, we are their family.
Yeah.
And together, again, it's that thing, together we're stronger, and together we are a family.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so obviously Pride, all the details are flowing along the screen there at the bottom.
Yeah.
And main thing that right there going across now is it's free entry. So
It's a free event for all to enjoy.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome.
and don't forget the parade that's just that side.
That's
Everything's on a mirror. I've got to get used to this, yeah.
Yes,
On that side, the parade here.
Yeah, mine was the same up, my hair's on the
I was just a
other
bit frustrated because I couldn't find one on Google that had a picture of me in it.
Oh, right.
No,
You were in millions of them.
I know, I just couldn't find one last minute and all that.
Yeah, pop along.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, the important thing with the coffee groups, the radio show that we do, different volunteering opportunities, it's, Pride, the event, Pride 2017 is really important and a really important window into what we do. But actually, we're doing things all year, and people are involved all year, and people are helping each other and connecting all year, and it's really important to celebrate that.
Yeah.
And, what's that thing? A dog's not just for Christmas. Well, Pride's not just for one day in August. It's
Are you sure?
yeah, no. Keeps us busy.
But yeah, it looks like getting a couple of comments here. Someone saying I can't wait for Pride.
Oh,
So, we can't wait either. The stress goes for a couple of months then.
yeah. That's it. Yeah. Brilliant.
Right, we're going to call it a wraps because I've got to be somewhere else. And then
Yeah, we'll do more.
probably do another update video in a couple of months leading up. Probably actually go live from the picnic.
That would be good. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Yes, the big lunch. Do you want to talk about the big lunch?
Lunch, Sunday the 18th of August, Plymouth home, we'll meet near the wedding cake, which Belvedere, which people in Plymouth will know. But you'll see us because we have the rainbow flags there. It's
making noise.
the Pride family picnic where anybody, if you haven't got a big lunch going on in your neighbourhood or you're not connected with your community, your immediate geographical community, then you're welcome to come and join us up on the hoe. And it's all about sharing food, being nice to each other and finding out about each other, really. Finding out what's different about us and what we like.
Brilliant.
Pride picnic I find is good because where it's smaller and not so loud and stuff like that, you actually meet new friends there.
Yeah, you do.
And then you end up getting your picture put all over Facebook because you're dancing like an idiot.
Yes. That was so good dancing. You did very well.
And we will have our little sound system, and there will be times for karaoke, and there will be some dancing as well.
But yeah, the Pride team bring a little bit of food just to get the ball rolling, but we do say bring your favourite snack, put it on the table, and we all share.
I'll bake some Pringles again.
Yeah, I'll get Martin making his.
You're gonna bake
I'll
some
bake Pringles.
Yeah,
bake some Pringles.
the
Other crisps are.
It's an excuse to bake cupcakes.
Yeah. Yes.
I like
yeah, because the rolls that Martin made last year with the peppery mayonnaise flew out the window within seconds. Everyone loved them.
Yeah.
So he's got to make double the amount this year. So yeah, we shall call it a day.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
Bye.
So this is great.
See you later, guys.
Bye.